Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Tennessee whiskey.
Going with some Stapleton.
Sweetest strawberry wine. That guy's got the voice, man. I'm telling you.
One of the best Super Bowl national anthem performances. Remember that a few years ago?
Oh, yeah. He murdered that. That was amazing.
Yeah, he did. Nice shirt, pal.
If I could take, Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my Zep.
Physical Graffiti, 50 years this year.
Can you believe that?
It was last week, I believe, the release date.
Yep. I can't even believe that's 50 years because I remember some neighbors. It was one of my earlier memories, Kev. This is, I'm 6 years old.
Yeah, right.
And one of my neighbors was running down the street going, I got it. And he ran in the house and he cranked it. And just a bunch of us younger ones, who loved Zeppelin, we love the sound of Zeppelin. We're just sitting outside and he would actually have the window up and just the screen so we could hear it.
Cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
And I remember to this day when I heard In the Light, it touched me. It did something to me. I was like, God, that is awesome.
It was Kashmir was, it's cliche, right? Because that's the biggest hit off of that album, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love that song.
Yeah. Okay. Kashmir, that he played that like a bunch of times in a row. And Kev, this was on vinyl.
Yeah, no, I had it on vinyl. It was a 2-disc.
Do you still have it?
No. I gave away all my vinyl when we moved.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Audrey got a record player from her future mother and father-in-law.
Nice.
And she whipped out one of the first vinyls I ever owned on my own. Not a hand-me-down. Cheap Trick Budokan.
Oh, nice.
and I was like, put on "Ain't That a Shame," with the drum or the drum intro and everything like that.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Ain't that a shame? My tears fall. I played that thousands because I remember that this is my first record. Oh my God, it's mine. It's just me. I bought it. It's mine. And then I played that song for some reason like thousands of times.
So that was the first piece of recorded music you ever bought with your own money?
With my own money, yes.
Yeah. Mine was the Beth 45 from Kiss.
Was it?
Casablanca Records, buddy.
Beth, I hear you calling, and I can't come home right now. One thing I'm into, and I think I've told you this before, so I didn't have it on my rabbit hole list for this week, is I love watching reactions that people have when they first hear songs. Stairway to Heaven was a big one that I was into. Another one is Creep by Radiohead.
Mm-hmm.
When people first hear that song, Tennessee Whiskey, which I just did, a little piece of right there. And another one was Beth. And, nobody can believe, the younger generation cannot believe that came from the makeup monsters. Kiss. They're like, I can't even believe this song is a Kiss song.
Right. Yeah. The same people that brought you Detroit Rock City, Calling Dr. Love, Yeah.
Yeah. Strutter and
yeah. Lick it up.
You really like my limousine. You like the way the wheels roll. You like my 7-inch leather heel and going to all of the shows. But do you love me?
Yes, man. It's like we're at concert right now.
Shut your mouth.
That's awesome.
I got to learn how to sing, man. I just got to, because I was watching the female reactions to Tennessee Whiskey. Yeah. And they're just free. I was like, man, I got to learn how to sing, man.
Really? Does James Hetfield really know how to sing?
Oh my God. And that was another one is they were watching Enter Sandman from the Moscow concert in 91. Remember that thing? That incredible concert. And they're just like, oh my God, he's not the best looking guy, but the way he just stands there and stalks and stuff like that. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, he's a great front man, and he's actually gotten better singing over the years. But man, those first couple albums, Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, couldn't sing a lick.
Yeah, I gotta find three good musicians that are okay with me being kind of marginal in terms of the singing, but I got the stage presence,
I was
man.
just getting ready to say, man, David Lee Roth was there because of his stage presence. You would have definitely have stage presence.
Oh, I would, Kev, I would be pulling out all of the stops on
Hell yeah.
stage. And you know the crowd banter, the crowd work. That's my number one thing. The crowd work, man. You know that.
Exactly. It's an hour and a half long concert, and they're only going to play 3 songs.
You know
Timmy's going to fill the rest.
I know. And then after the last song, here's my out, Kev. Here's my out. Well, I came here for two reasons. One, to play my songs, and two, to eat pussy. And now I'm all out of songs.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh my God. That's funny. That's awesome.
Can you imagine just that? That's it, you know? Because that'd be like a cool like parody band, you know, like Spinal Tap or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, just a parody band. We're just out here like more making you laugh than entertaining you with music.
Yeah.
That would just be a great exit right there.
It would be phenomenal. Even if you weren't even if you were trying to be a legitimate band, that would be a great that'd be a great exit.
Well, don't steal that, because I thought about that when I was doing cardio. I was like, because I'm Kevin, it's rumbling around in my head, man. There's things as you come, you know, to that turn in your life where it's like, hey man, how much do I have left?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, I have to just, you know, I did my comedy a year ago, stand-up comedy. That was great. Check that off the list. I loved it. It was a beautiful experience. I'm glad I did it. Now I just want to play in a band, man.
Yeah.
And I want to be the lead singer.
You should. Very charismatic. Great front person.
Yeah, but I can't sing, dude.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, Brian Johnson, AC/DC.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is that?
Well, I don't know. Let's hear it.
No. I promise anybody that's listening to this episode right here, right now, I will not sing for the rest of the time. I promise. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, do I hit this button? Do I hit this button?
Yeah, they're hitting it now because they're not going to get any entertainment value. Great. Way to go, Tuttle. Way to kill the show.
I'm so sorry. Hey, Kev, I did not know. Yeah, and again, I think we got to get into this. I'm completely off the grid. I don't watch news. I don't really do too much on social media at all. And I had no idea that until this morning that you had a passing in the family. I'm so sorry, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough last 5 days with the Kline Snyder clan because my father-in-law died last week.
Yeah, and I know you really revered him and had a soft spot in your heart for him.
Well, he's a United States war hero. There's no question about it. As a matter of fact, a guy that he served with at the front line of Vietnam has become a major general with the United States Marine Corps. And I interviewed him because he wrote a book called Darker Than Dark that talks about my father-in-law's heroic achievements over in Vietnam. And he said if Kenny Snyder wasn't on this planet, he wouldn't be on this planet because he saved so many lives.
What kind of shit did he do? I mean, can you tell any stories of some of the things he did, or is that?
Well, I don't know because he never really talked about it. But let me just tell you this, Tim. He was a sniper for the United States Marine Corps in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. So I think you can deduce just simply by that. I know that half of his platoon was killed.
No shit.
He carried his best friend, his absolute best friend, carried him off of the battlefield in 2 pieces, split at the waist. Yep.
Ouch.
Yep.
That's tough, man.
So, but yeah, I saw him not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. So 2 Saturdays ago, we saw him at the college hockey game, the last one of the season. Trish texted him on Sunday, got a reply. Texted him on Monday morning, got a reply. Texted him Monday evening, no reply. Talked to his brother every day on the phone who lives in Ohio. Didn't get a return call. Brother didn't get a return call on Tuesday, didn't get a return call on Wednesday. So he called Springfield Police Department for a welfare check. and I had just gotten in the car from a run on Thursday morning, and Trish had called 3 times, and I was like, oh no. So I called her, and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm over at Dad's house, and they just did a welfare check, and he's dead. But yeah, I mean, it was so he died probably Monday evening, and he died in his favorite chair, listening to the radio, beer in hand.
Oh, well, how bad is that then?
The police officers who responded first came back out and said, we're very sorry. And, Trish was like, well, what do you think happened? And they said, he did not suffer at all. There's no pained look on his face. It was a widowmaker.
Wow. Okay. It was a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they're thinking. Mother-in-law doesn't want to do an autopsy. And the time has passed. He's already in a box. And we bury him, today.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Kev. I'm so sorry. But hey, man, how old how old was he?
He was 3 days away from his 78th birthday.
Man, again, for me, my sweet spot, if I can go 77 to 83, that's all I want.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in talking to his former platoon mate who became a major general, he got extra years, man.
Yeah.
More than anybody over there. He got extra years, and obviously, we'll miss him. I get to be one of the people that eulogizes him at the funeral. But there will be things we miss for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, I bet, and you'll nail that one, I'm sure.
Oh, I already wrote it. So,
Is it gold? You got gold?
Well, I'm going to take a different angle than what probably his brother and what my brother and sister-in-law will do. I'm going to talk about the side of Kenneth Paul Snyder that nobody saw because he never wanted you to see it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
all right. Yeah. I love it.
But the man's favorite word was fuck. And no, seriously, dude. And I would count when there were conversations, I would count how many times. And the record was 27 in a 3-minute phone conversation. Now, remember, a 3-minute phone conversation, the other person's talking about half of the time. So you're talking about 27 fucks in 90 seconds. That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Yeah, right.
I am. That's 3 every 10 seconds, man.
I know. And that was a light day.
Well, to you, Mr. Snyder,
yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
All right, Kev. What? Since we're on it, me being left out of the. Oh, what did you have? Did you have something else?
I know that you were going to talk about the things that you have missed. Did you hear the big news this morning? Is that Southwest Airlines is now going to start charging for baggage?
You're kidding.
Nope. Over 50.
What got them there?
Well, they're now owned by a private equity firm, and they say that they're not being able to compete with the other bigs because they don't make $1.5 to $5 billion a year on baggage fees.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, that was a thing that distinguished them from others.
Tim, they actually have bags fly free trademarked.
Yeah. Well, piss that out the window. You see how it is? You get new owners in, they fuck everything up.
Well, here's the thing, and you're a money guy. Internally, they've been talking about this for years internally. And they said that internally they did a research study. They will make $1.5 billion off the baggage fees, but the people who are not going to fly them anymore, they will lose $1.8 billion. So they're actually going to lose, what, 300 million?
It's stupid. Yeah. It's dumb.
Yeah. So I don't understand. It just pisses everybody off.
You got to be careful when you price things because once you go to a certain mark in terms of a price point, you lose X amount of business as your price goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be able to know. You should have people in, some of the math guys in there that'll tell you with each dollar that we lose this much, and they should be able to find you the optimal price on something where you can make the most revenue.
Yeah, well, but they're saying now it completely doesn't. There's no differentiation between Southwest and the other majors. So a lot of people who only flew Southwest for bags fly free now will start looking at the other airlines because of different schedules and all that kind of stuff.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
That uncool. Okay, what else is happening?
In South Carolina, a woman fell down a 16-foot well that was infested with snakes.
Wow.
Oh, yep.
How long was she down there?
They're not saying how long it took to rescue her, but they actually had to manufacture a pulley system, the fire department, and lower a fire rescue worker down and pull her up. And they actually have pictures of some of the snakes that the fire chief was very, very funny. Some of the snakes tried to help with the extraction of the woman. Their help was unneeded, and they're beheaded.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Were they poisonous snakes? Or, I mean, did she get bit?
It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look like they were poisonous. It looked like they were kind of just like black snakes and rat snakes and stuff. But just imagine. I mean, like that's so Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Oh yeah. First off, you fell into a well. Second off, you're stuck in there with snakes. I mean, it's at that point you're like, what else could happen today?
Right. That is so many people's worst nightmare. You're claustrophobic, number one. You're constricted, and then you've got snakes.
Yeah, that's terrible. Okay, well, I mean, nothing but sunshine and lollipops from her going forward, right?
That's right. Did you see the viral video of the Virginia State High School track relay championships?
No, but I'd heard. Was there a fight or something like that?
No, some girl goes to pass. A girl goes to pass on the outside, and the girl on the inside raises her baton and strikes her in the head, knocks her out, gives her a concussion and a possible skull fracture.
You're kidding.
No, here's the video right here.
Just as Kaylin is passing the other runner, the athlete swings her baton, striking Kaylin.
Now, that does not look accidental to me.
Yeah, there's some deep-seated stuff. Are they boyfriend? There's usually it's a love triangle. Is that, No,
it was the girl who hit the other girl says that it was completely inadvertent. The girl was passing too close to her, got in front of her. But when you are running a relay, your baton never goes above your shoulders, correct?
Yes.
This girl's baton went above her head, and then she strikes the other girl in the head.
It's a bit much.
A little bit. I'm not buying the accidental.
No. After perusing right there, and I have to say there is some kind of backstory that we don't know about.
Yeah, very true. And then I should have dovetailed this on the Southwest Airlines. We are now very close to having 90-minute flights from New York to London.
Wow.
Yep. The Son of Concorde last week actually broke the sound barrier, and there was no sonic boom heard on the ground. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
Is the sonic boom above, when it breaks the sound barrier, it reverberates down on the ground. So what they've been trying to do is get these supersonic speeds without the sonic boom registering on terra firma. Guess what? It happened.
Crazy.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, that's nutty. So half hour from like Houston to New York or something like that?
Maybe even under. I mean, you're talking about going across the Atlantic in 90 minutes. Yeah, dude.
I see this as a big cost savings for Southwest Airlines because now they won't have to serve you shit.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, motherfuckers, those cheap bastards.
But I'm imagining that tickets are going to be quite costly on something like that.
Yeah, but you're still gonna have to pay extra for your fucking baggage.
Yeah, right. But would they really need to be as costly? Because you're going to be able to do more flights per day, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but Kev, they'll figure out a way to make sure that it costs more money.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah. You know how it is. Like you'll see like oil prices drop like crazy, but it takes a long time for you to reflect that at the pump.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And I still remember years ago when we had an oil shortage or the price of oil was higher or whatever. And then it dropped. And I remember the oil companies going, well, we're going to keep the gas prices the same because we want the consumer like used to it being high. We don't want to, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, no, the longer you keep it high and then you can drop it a little bit, or like, oh, wow, what a savings. But they've already kept, you're already paying more than what you would have if it would have just been normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they have that executive meeting from, yacht number 7.
Right.
Fuck you. What else is happening, Kevin Kline?
That's about all. I mean, you saw all the free agent wheelings and dealings in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I'm aware of those. Again, it's just shocking. At least as of now, the day after they opened it up, the Dallas Cowboys did nothing.
No,
they do nothing.
Not a thing.
And I gotta give credit to teams like the Patriots, and they're making moves to stock up. I mean, you got to give credit. There are certain teams that are just like, hey man, we're going to do something here.
Do you think Seattle getting rid of Geno Smith and bringing in Sam Darnold, isn't that kind of a wash? I didn't think either one of them were that great.
Yeah, the reason they did that, Kev, is Geno was wanting that 45 to 50 mil dog range.
Okay.
And they're just like, well, no, we'll just get white Geno and and pay like 40% off of that.
Do you find it crazy and kind of funny about the about face that Myles Garrett did?
That was so funny because I remember him. I was watching him on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. He was going from show to show, and it's not about the money.
Nah.
I want to win. It's not about the money at all. Please stop. And you turn around. Well, it's about money.
Yeah,
it's about money.
Became the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, signing a $40 million per year contract that will take him from Cleveland to Canton, is what they're calling it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Cav. Which, by the way, is not that far of a drive. They're right down
Not
the
at
road.
all. Yeah.
Here's the thing with the Cleveland Browns. What do the other 31 teams think of these motherfuckers? A few years ago, they blew the market away and screwed everything up with the Deshaun Watson ridiculous fiasco contract.
Right.
And now, you got Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. He was pretty much promised that he was going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in history. And you got Micah Parsons in Dallas. And they're all going, well, the market's been reset. The other 31 teams probably just hate the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, well, they're probably not real happy with the Buffalo Bills either.
What did they do?
Well, they signed Josh Allen, 6 years, $330 million, 250 of which guaranteed.
Yeah. See, now here's where, and Kev, I've told you this for years and years and years. Once they get this big bag, they just start to suck. They don't give a fuck anymore, man.
Well, my thing is, has he ever won a championship?
No. He's an impressive player. He's got skills.
Mm-hmm.
But is he a winner? I mean, there are two quarterbacks that have every tool necessary, but can't win the big one. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
Yep.
And both of them are extraordinarily wealthy men.
Oh, they're the two highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
I think, Kev, here's what I think it should be. Like if the number now is 60 million a year, here's what they should do is okay. We're going to keep the quarterback salaries at about the $30 million a year range, the top 10, 12 of you. And then whoever wins the Super Bowl gets the other 30 million.
But remember, and I think about this quite often when I see these staggering contract, owners aren't going to lose money. No.
The TV revenues are off the charts, Kev. And the Players Association, the union, they got a deal where they get an X percent. The players get X percent of the revenue, and that's why when you see these salaries skyrocketing, it just shows how much money the NFL is making.
Exactly. That's what I was going for. That's what I was going to get ready to say. I'm like, owners don't lose money. They're shrewd business people. And when I saw a breakdown, Tim, the least wealthiest owner in all of NFL football is liquid $900 million.
Yeah.
$900 million.
Yeah. Once you own a football team, I mean, it appreciates so much every single year that there's nothing really you can do to fuck it up and lose money.
Yeah, that's why Tom Brady is an owner now.
Yeah, your bottom line just explodes and continues to go up and up and up. I mean, the only way that you can do better than that is to be a congressman that does inside information. You fucking criminals. Every one of you are a fucking criminal.
That kind of leads me to my top 3 this week.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top 3.
Top 3 industries, companies, or people that you absolutely hate.
I mean, Kev, you know me, the axis of evil. I mean, the axis of evil who, are trying to destroy civilization. The upper echelon billionaires, not all of them, but most of them, Soros and everything like that. I fucking hate Alex Soros, George Soros. Those are Bill Gates. These are evil motherfuckers with nefarious agendas. Can't stand them. I don't know. I can't say that I would even be able to maintain control if I was ever in the same room with them.
Really?
I would go off. I would just go off. You fucking evil. Because Kev, I don't go by mainstream media.
Uh-huh.
I read what these people write. I read the transcripts of the things that they say in interviews, and they talk very openly about how we are a virus and they're into eugenics and just want us gone and want us under control. Fuck you guys, you billionaire fucks.
Do you think they have security?
They have to, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
They have to. They put themselves out there too much and they've been exposed.
I mean, one of the nicest people walking the planet, and we can say this unequivocally because we've met her several times, Taylor Swift has security.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, without a doubt. Number 2, Kev, I would probably have to say, I just said it, mainstream media.
Okay.
The propaganda is just ridiculous. I mean, just shock the world one time and speak the truth. Forget about what's written on the teleprompter that you all just regurgitate, the narrative that you all regurgitate, and just for one time, shoot it straight with the people. You've been lying so fucking long every single day. I don't even think they're capable of doing it.
I don't think they know what's true and what's not anymore.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, and Kev, I know a lot of people like, well, Tim Tuttle and Kevin Kline for nearly 30 years. You two were part of the media too. Yeah, that's why we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how we know it's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3?
What was the top 3 again? What was the question?
Industries, companies, or people you hate. Groups of people, not individuals.
Let me see. Billionaires with nefarious agendas, mainstream. Oh, shit. Chicago Bears.
Because he's a Packer fan.
Yeah. His Chicago Bears can fuck off.
But wouldn't you put also Minnesota and Detroit in there?
Not as much as the Bears. Obviously they're in the division and, they're rivals and everything like that. But I don't know what it is, Kev. Ever since I was a little kid in the 70s, being a Packers fan, I mean, just something about the Bears,
Uh-huh.
And that probably is from my dad. That probably, he just, I don't like the Bears.
Well, and it could also be longevity of teams because they're two of the originals. You talk about Detroit and you talk about Minnesota. I think they were add-on teams.
Yeah. Now that being said, Kev, I think it's good for the NFL if they don't suck.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I would like to see them more competitive. I'd like them to maybe even flip situations with Detroit or Minnesota where they're more successful.
Yeah.
Because it's better for the NFL, better for the game if they don't suck.
Well, they have themselves a new coach, and Ben Johnson, I believe, is the new coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Detroit. They say he's going to work really, really well with Caleb Williams, their quarterback. So who knows?
Yeah, not only that though, but I don't know if you've seen the maneuvers that they've done over the past week, but they've gotten some serious offensive line help.
Well, they got Joe Tooney from the Chiefs.
They got two others too. I can't remember the specifics on it, but they're loading up on the line because they know that with Caleb, and Ben Johnson will teach Caleb, hey man, 2.5 seconds, throw the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing in the NFL for a quarterback is you're in shotgun, Kev. And then from shotgun, you take your 3-step back. By the time you plant your foot on that 3rd step, the ball's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. You don't got time.
That's how Brady did it. That's how Manning did it. And, they also were good at going down, after that, getting in the fetal position, protecting yourself so you don't get injured.
Right.
I mean, I've been really studying Manning and Brady, and they were just the best at it. 2.5 seconds, ball's gone. I'm getting, they're coming in on me. The pocket is muddy and everything like that. I'm just going to go down. They don't take big hits.
And the interesting thing about both of those players is all that information that they're gathering is not on the playing field. It's in the film room.
Oh, totally. They know when they step up to the line of scrimmage and they look at the coverage, they know their primary guy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, say it's the guy on the right that's going to run a post pattern, they'll actually be looking left to throw the safety off.
Uh-huh.
They'll throw the safety off by looking left the whole time. In the last second, 2.5 seconds, boom, they go right.
There you go.
And Ben Johnson will teach Caleb that, and they're loading up on the offensive line. And Kev, mark my words right here. Their first pick in the draft will be Ashton Genty, the near Heisman Trophy winning running back from Idaho State. And they'll be scary because Kev, I don't know if you watched Ashton Genty or even know who I'm talking about right now.
I don't.
He is Marshawn Lynch, the next incarnation of it.
Oh, wow. Marshawn Lynch could play.
Yeah. So the Bears scare me now. They scare me.
Yeah, I mean, look what we saw this year with Philadelphia. They go out and get Saquon Barkley, who runs for 2,000 plus yards, and I mean, you just take a lot of pressure off your quarterback.
Yeah, but that's it's so funny. We're going to go from air raid. We're going to go. The cycle is now okay. Running game and defense. Mm-hmm. And that's from Philadelphia. The success from Philadelphia. And you look at all the top teams. They all had running games.
Yep, that's true.
If it's now the really top teams had running games and defense.
Well, defense wins you championships.
Exactly.
Yes, it does.
Well, no, Kev, it's control of the line of scrimmage on both sides. That wins you championships.
There you go.
And that's how I would always be as a general. I would, me, Kev, I've told you this before. If I was a general manager, I would never pay the big contract. I'd be like, oh, he's squawking that he wants, 5 years, $250 million. Well, what can we get for him?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's try to get 2 good players right now and 3 draft picks and send them.
Yeah, no, Timmy's always subscribed to the kind of Bill Belichick method of general managing. Get rid of them during their peak.
Yeah, get what you can for them, continuously reload, and you never have to eat those big contracts, and you're always getting new prospects and new players in.
Young blood.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what I would never pay top of the market, Kev. Never.
Oh, that's why you would have more money than the rest of them.
Retails are for pussies. Retail is for pussies.
Is that a Glengarry Glen Ross line or?
No, I just threw that right now. All right, what are your top 3, Kev?
My top 3, the concert industry.
Uh-oh.
Fucking fees. What kind of a fee can you incur by sending me an email with my tickets in it?
Yeah, that's greed.
That's bullshit.
How much is it now? Do I even want to know?
Oh, well, concert tickets in and of themselves, just face value, are outrageous. I mean, I wanted to go see Nine Inch Nails in Denver, $215, and that's not even for prime seats. Yeah, and then on the top of that, you're probably going to get socked for about $30 worth of fees, a handling fee, a ticketing fee for what? An email?
That's just I know that's terrible.
Dick.
How many fucking yachts do you need? Again, Kev. Again, you're reverting back to my other one, the billionaires.
Yeah. Well, didn't Ticketmaster had to pay a hefty civil lawsuit fee for their fees and stuff like that. I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, let me tell you, and again, we've talked about this in the past. If we ever go, post-apocalypse, have civil unrest and go post-apocalypse situation, if you are a Ticketmaster executive, do not identify yourself to the other people. Again, you will be barbecued that evening.
Insurance agents, insurance companies would be next in line for me. They're taking your money and not paying your, you know what I'm saying? You have a car accident and they're trying any way, shape, or form not to pay what you've paid into them.
No, but they're going to pay Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and,
Yep.
I remember that, I was goofing, back when I had, what is it? The hurricane. What was the last hurricane we had? I can't even remember. And I had the tornado outside of our place in East Bernard, and they were getting a little twitchy about it. And I was just like, well, you're paying fucking Aaron Rodgers, to do commercials, motherfuckers. You better come up with a check.
That's right. Yep.
And I think they set up word, that this guy's going to talk shit about us on the radio. Let's cut him a check.
Because they did.
Yeah, they took care of it.
Yeah, your local agent took care of it.
But they were getting a little squirrely about it, man. They were getting a little, yeah, because that's their job. Their job is, what can we not pay?
That's right.
So we can make sure that Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't live in squalor.
Yeah, he's got some worries there. $500 million.
Yeah. Now, who else you got, Kev?
What we originally started talking about, the airline industries. I mean, come on, man. How many different ways do you want to screw your customers?
I know, Kev. And it just reminds me of, why are we not Jetsons yet and have our own little flying vehicles?
Well, probably because the airline industries are so rich that they quash it.
That and Kev, I get a look at my neighbors sometimes, and I always sometimes think, do I want that motherfucker having a flying car? No.
Well, but why Texas doesn't have legalized gambling, don't you?
Because other states lobby our own legislators to make sure that the money stays in Louisiana, in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Our own Texas state politicians are fucking corrupt pieces of shit.
There you go. So, yep, that's why you don't have it, because Louisiana and Oklahoma pay so much money to keep it out of Texas.
Anybody that is a legislator in state of Texas that receives a penny from an outside state entity that fucks Texans should immediately just be run out of the state. Gone.
It is very anti-Texan on many levels.
You sold yourself. You sold out. You're a piece of shit. Yeah.
What's the vibe been in Houston since the passing of Sylvester Turner?
I didn't even know he died.
Oh, you didn't?
No, Sylvester Turner died?
Yeah. Yeah, the day after the joint speech to Congress.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a senator. He took over Sheila Jackson Lee.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sylvester died last week.
Wow.
76, 77 years old, I think.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't a senator. He was Congress.
Congress, okay, yeah. But he took Sheila Jackson Lee's chair.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Gosh, the thing I remember most about Sylvester Turner is his love for the firemen.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a big backer of the firemen. No.
That and Kev, you remember like 3 weeks into COVID back in 2020, we had him on the phone, and he was talking about the mask mandate. And I said to him, Mr. Mayor, be honest. You continue with this mask mandate because you've seen us in person and want radio people to be wearing masks everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And he laughed his ass off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he laughed.
Okay. Well, all right. I did not know that. So who's going to be the congressperson right now?
That I don't know. I don't know if they have to appoint somebody or if they have to elect somebody. I do not know.
somebody appoints somebody or something like that. So,
Yeah.
So that's your three, right?
That's my three, sir. That is my three.
Hey, Kev, I got to tell you this, and I know you're tight with your father-in-law's funeral. So if I'm running long, just cut me off, okay?
No. We're good. We're good.
I had a neighbor that was cracking up at last week's episode, and I just wanted to tell you about it.
It was a funny episode, man.
Yeah, a bunch of great stuff, including he was laughing because he's a former Marine.
Okay.
And he was laughing at the drill instructors trying to teach you how to shoot. And he said, Timmy, the visual in my head as I'm listening to this is Kevin Kline, being taught by Marine drill instructors and specialists how to shoot. He just thought of like a Monty Python like skit.
It almost was.
And he just sees Kevin. He actually like shoots a drill instructor. Oh, I'm sorry, I shot you.
Yeah.
I've killed another. And the drill instructor, I'm not dead yet. Well, just wait a moment. I suck so bad.
Yep.
He just had that visual, and him and I were riffing about how funny that would be. A Kevin Kline, Monty Python, learning how to shoot skit.
Well, when my father-in-law came back from Vietnam, he became a marksman instructor at Paris Island.
Well, wait a minute. And that doesn't make sense to me, Kev, because here he's your father-in-law. And even at that time, if I remember correctly, this was 2002 that we were at Paris Island, somewhere around there. And you had been married to Trish at that time for at least 6 years. How come he had never taught you how to shoot?
He never knew I didn't know how. Yeah,
exactly. It's shocking. It's shocking that somebody's never held a firearm in their hand, don't know how to, I don't know. It's just weird. It was weird.
Well, when we got back from Paris Island, the U.S. Marine Recruit Depot, and he found out that I couldn't hit a target, he said he was going to teach me how to shoot. So that Christmas, when we came home, he took me out back and gave me a shotgun and said, hit the barn. And I missed it with a fucking shotgun.
You missed the barn with a shotgun?
Yeah, I did.
What did you do? Did you pull up or something like that? Did you?
I anticipate the kick.
Okay, you can't do that.
No, but he was so pissed off.
Oh my God, that's terrible. Did you do like what the police academy guy did and just hand it back to the instructor? I'm done. I quit.
No, I said. He said, I don't even know why I let you marry my daughter. And I said, well, please don't get it annulled, sir.
Yeah, Jesus, man. And again, I know a lot of people are listening right now and going, well, how does Kevin protect his wife if there's ever a home invader? She will do the protecting.
Oh, she's the one that answers the door. Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the doorbell, honey. Go get it.
Does she shoot at all?
She can shoot. She doesn't, but she can.
Yeah.
No, that was two things that my father-in-law demanded that the kids know: an instrument and how to protect themselves with weaponry. Good. Yeah.
But the reason you don't have a gun in the house is because Kevin is bipolar and he would just try to shoot himself like all the time. She would literally have to be walking, can't leave you alone in a room for 2 seconds. Are you trying to shoot yourself again, honey? Stop it.
I don't know where she put the knives now.
Yeah. Put that Glock away. Everything's okay. Stop. We've got neighbors coming over for the cookout, and I do not want to be cleaning the carpet of your blood. So stop, okay? Maybe later.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Exactly. That's funny as shit. I thought you'd get a kick out of that, though. Him and I were riffing on a Monty Python skit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Kev. I wanted to tell you this. When back in the 90s, before I even met you, and before I was living on my own in Nashville for a couple of years, and I actually umpired baseball.
Okay,
and I kind of rather enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about umpiring Little League again.
Nice.
And I actually reached out to the league down the road here, and I went to meet with the director of umpiring.
Very cool.
And I decided immediately that I would not be umpiring.
Why is that?
Because while I'm out there at the fields talking to the director of umpiring, I'm noticing the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And Kev, they were so negative and so angry and just so out of line. I mean, it's actually 10 times worse now than it was 15 years ago when Audrey was, playing softball at Rose Ridge.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable.
I was like, you fucking people, and it just reminded me of what I've told you in the past is coaching or umpiring baseball or softball would be the greatest job in the world if it weren't for the fucking parents.
That's what teachers say too. Teaching would be one of the most enjoyable career and professions if it weren't for the parents.
Yeah, I mean, this is coming from me. There are times that I was a little bit out of line, and I have some regrets about it. But I was never as bad as what I saw on the field last week. It was just it's just bad. Here's the thing, Kev. Your kid is more likely 50 to 100% less talented than you fucking think they are. You automatically have this thing where you think they're not. Because I'm watching a kid, and he's struggling going left, struggling going right. If he gets a ground ball straight to him, he's fine. But he has struggle moving, and the coach puts him in the outfield after watching that for a while at second base, and I just hear the mom go, "Well, Billy he's not getting the chance here. This is just terrible. The coach is overlooking him." And I'm just like, oh, no. And that was just one of many different things that I saw that I'm just like, I've had the director of umpire. He's emailed me over the last, and I told him I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, parents, if you do that, you are probably taking at least 75% of the joy out of the game for the kid.
Your kid picks up on that.
Yeah.
Your kid picks up on that. Yeah, it was sad because I like being at the ballpark, and I enjoyed being an umpire, and I actually enjoyed at least within the team of coaching back in the day. But the bad news, Kev, I don't think I'll ever coach or umpire youth sports again. I won't do it.
Now, that's a shame because you and I both like to teach kids how to play,
Yeah.
and it is. Why isn't my son getting to play enough? Why is he sitting the bench for 3 innings? Well, because everybody else is playing.
Yeah.
It's only so many players you can get on the field.
Because your kid it doesn't really want to be here. He would rather be home playing video games, but he's here because you want him here.
That's right.
Anyway, the good news though is I feel so much better concerning any of the terrorists that may have come over the border during the Biden administration.
Well, how so and why?
I feel like Little League moms would mop them up.
Yeah.
Hey, Muhammad, your diabolical plan may have worked until you ran into a group of moms who've just been told that their Little League sons didn't make All-Stars this year.
Yeah. You're done.
Yeah. That's an angry lot right there, Kev.
Indeed. Well, dude, how about what happened in Dallas just last week at the National Cheerleading Competition Championships?
Wait a minute. Are we having more Texas cheerleader problems? I remember that was a big deal, 20, 30 years ago. Is that still a thing?
Parents fighting each other.
What?
Yeah. At a cheerleading competition.
How does this happen?
You're spreading cheer. And they're fighting.
Cheer. Not jeer.
Yes.
Not fear. Cheer.
Yeah, they didn't get the memo, man.
Do we know what spurred this on? What happened?
I don't. I just saw the footage. Well, it had to be evacuated. The place had to be evacuated, and they thought there were shots fired, but it wasn't. It was just parents fighting.
Are you
But
serious?
if you have to evacuate a competition because of fighting,
I don't understand that. I just don't. Where's the Where's the argument there? Is they can throw my little girl higher. Why aren't they throwing her?
right?
Oh my God, it's so obvious that Angie has put on some pounds. They're not getting the launch that they used to. I mean, what is going on, man? How is there even an issue?
I don't know. But because parents live vicariously through their kids.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them do. My dad did it.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. Damn it.
I'm so sorry, kid. Hey, do we have time? Can we talk about rabbit holes? Do we have time?
Yeah, because I do have a cool rabbit hole, but I also have a story I want to share with you.
Please start with a story.
Okay, well, last week I was approached by a musician friend of mine, James Baker from Rorschach Test, and he wanted to do something for March, which is National Women's History Month. And so he thought it would be cool if I interviewed the bass player for Rorschach Test, who's a female, and his wife, and also Jen, the lead singer from Genitorturers, which is a band that I've seen 3 times. Now I'll see it 4 times in April, to talk about women in heavy metal music. It's cool, okay? Yeah. But so I interviewed them, and it actually posted on the Fuzzy Mike just today. And I asked Jen, because Genitorturers came about because they wanted to do genital torture. Okay. And she goes, hey, my name's Jen. So I thought, Genitorturers, that'd be a cool one. And so they literally do piercings and bondage and stuff like that on stage. And I said, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you on stage? And she goes, well, it didn't happen to me. She said, the CEO of the company whose scalpels and needles we use on stage came to one of our shows in a rubber suit with a rubber kilt on. And he came up to the stage and he wanted to have scrotal inflation done to him. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, we put a needle in his ball sack and then we inflated it to the size of a volleyball.
What?
I know, right? And he's walking around at the show with a volleyball-sized scrotum in between his legs, underneath his rubber kilt.
Kev, this is bizarre a world that I just can't comprehend.
I can't either. And I've been to 3 of their shows and I've seen shit that they do on stage. And I just can't see a guy walking up there and putting a needle in his nutsack and then expanding it to the size of a volleyball.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
If you want to hear more about that, go to the Fuzzy Mike.
Do you have this? Do we have a new episode of Fuzzy Mike?
Yeah, it's just this one-off episode because, they wanted me to share it on Facebook. And we do talk a little bit about mental health. But yeah, having your ball sack inflated.
Yeah, Kev, I'm very perplexed for 2 reasons in regards to that story. One is the inflation of the scrotum.
Uh-huh.
2 is that March has been declared National Women's Month.
National Women's History Month, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just women's, because I was going to say, man, I got news for you. Every fucking month is National Women's Month.
So true.
Trust me.
But how about that? Because she made it a point to say he's the CEO of the company. And I'm like, man, and when you find out about who goes to BDSM practitioners and stuff, it is a lot of times leaders of companies and leaders of institutions.
Definitely, Kev. I mean, you got to remember, most of the CEOs, leaders of companies, government leaders, everything they're sociopaths with some cray-cray in them.
Well, what Jen said is that the majority of them come in because they're so tired of being said yes to, and they're so tired of just lording over people that they want to find out what it's like for people to push back on them.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
they need something to offset it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the TV show Billions, where Paul Giamatti,
Great actor. Love him.
His character was just this overtop prosecutor, just a total fucking dick, control freak over the top. But he was BDSM and he liked to be pushed around.
There you go. Yeah. But at what point does the CEO say, you know what? I've lorded over so many people. I think as retribution, I should have air pushed into my balls.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, how can I profit off of this?
Right.
I know. We'll charge anybody with big balls extra for baggage.
Well, it is extra baggage. It's a sack.
All right, Kev. Tell me about. Let's go into rabbit holes.
Rabbit hole of the week.
You were talking about being a front man for a band earlier in this episode. Well, Timmy, I found the competition for you. It was on ESPN Ocho. Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, I watched 3 hours of it. Fucking Air Guitar World Championships. Tim, it's so bad, dude.
Kev, I'm afraid to put that on because I won't be able to stop. It's just so fucking lame.
It really is, man.
I mean, to me, anybody doing air guitar for more than, if you do it, just because you're riffing with a song, if you do it for a few seconds, that's one thing. If you're up there performing any more than half of a song, you're a fucking tool.
You got to watch it though, because you got to hear the commentators. It's so best in show.
So the commentators, they're in on it.
They have to be in on it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to be. It's so deadpan, and they're, oh my gosh, I've never seen an air guitar being thrown up into the air and flipped like that and caught. Yeah.
I'm so glad that he's wearing the wristbands because obviously the sweat would just be destroying his ability to play that axe.
Dude, they do wear sweatbands and stuff, and they do commentate on it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
You have to watch it.
Okay, I will. What is that? I just could YouTube air guitar contest.
Yeah, air guitar national championships or world championships. They have them every year. The world championships are held over in Finland.
I fucking love that, man. Okay, I'm into it. I don't know about 3 hours though, Kev. After about 2 hours, you're like, hey man, you go look in the mirror in the bathroom and go, do I have my life together?
It's addictive, brother.
Okay. Kev, I crawled down a rabbit hole, and it's kind of surprising that I did this again because I was in this rabbit hole when I was in college. When I was in college, I read the book Helter Skelter at least 4 or 5 times. That, of course, is about the Manson family and the Tate LaBianca murders, as written by Vincent Bugliosi, the district attorney that got the conviction on Charles Manson and the rest of the family in Los Angeles, late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
And the reason, Kev, I went down the rabbit hole is because I watched this documentary that I didn't even know was out there. It's a documentary called Manson. And it's told from Linda Kasabian's point of view. Now, she, of course, was a star witness. She was there both nights. She didn't participate in any of the murders. She was either, driving or keeping lookout or outside or whatever. But it was told basically play by play. And that's an angle that we never really got, is the play by play, minute by minute, both nights, which I was just fascinated by. So I got into that, and then I started. Okay, I got to look up more. What else since my college days is updated, and some of it is really crazy. Like Tom O'Neill, a journalist, wrote a book about it. Did an updated book. Probably about 15 years ago, and he interviewed Bugliosi and everybody else like that. And some of the stuff he came up with, first off, coming up with and confirming that Charles Manson was CIA MK Ultra guy.
Really?
Yeah, he was. Charles Manson would do something to go to jail. This is in the years leading up to the Manson murders. The Tate LaBianca murders. He would go to jail, and then he's always being let out because CIA would come in and say, "Yeah, this guy's a test subject. Let him out." And Tom O'Neill interviewed all of these wardens and district attorneys and everything like that, and just saying, "Hey, it's above our pay grade." The man wants Charles Manson out in the streets, so he kept being let out.
Yeah, he had a lengthy rap sheet, no question about it.
Yeah, but he was constantly just let out.
Wow.
That's one thing. Another thing, and this Bugliosi got comfortable with Tom O'Neill and didn't realize that, forgot that they were recording. And he basically said that, and did you ever hear about this yourself? That the police were going through Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate's place, in the days after the murders. They were going through everything, looking for some clues and everything like that. And Roman Polanski, Sharon Tate's wife, of course, a big-time director, well-known director, had some films, some movies that they watched every one of them. And one of them is Polanski is recording his wife, Sharon Tate, being unwillingly raped by two other guys.
Well, he was in exile for the longest time for child pornography, wasn't he?
Well, no, he had sex with a 13-year-old.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it had a child was involved.
Yeah, he can't come to America because he escaped prosecution on that. As soon as anybody in the United States knows he's there, he will be arrested and sent to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah, isn't that crazy? Did you ever hear about that?
No, but that's warped, man.
Man, is that crazy or what? That Polanski was just that crazy, that nutty. So initially, and until a couple months later, when they started, putting it together from Sadie Hawkins in jail, not Sadie Hawkins, Sadie Atkins,
Susan Atkins.
That's what broke the case open, and she was bragging inside of women's jail. And somebody just went to somebody and said, this lady said she's the one that killed Sharon Tate.
And she was.
But until that, broke, 3 or 4 months after the murders, they were thinking Polanski because he was just such a freak and a creep.
So in this documentary, then, with Manson being CIA, was Helter Skelter his idea, or was it the CIA's idea that he was just trying to enact?
Well, again, all the notes from the CIA, they're not there. And they deny any of it.
Because Helter Skelter was supposed to be a race war.
Kev, the whole Helter Skelter thing is a subterfuge. It's bullshit. And Bugliosi was going to sue O'Neill because he was coming to that conclusion. He was going to say, "Hey, do not put this in your book. I will sue you," and wrote a 38-page fuck you to him and his publisher, saying he's going to sue everything moving if certain things are in the book, which they just said, "Well, fuck you, old man. We're putting it in the book."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we got it on, we got your recorded voice, dude.
Hey, did you know that, because I just read this morning, that Manson, when he died, there was a battle over his body, so they put it on ice for like 18 months.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's crazy. Who would want that?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's so weird. It's almost like you have to make plans to make sure shit is done right if you're like in a weird position in life. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Oh, my father-in-law made plans years ago that will be enacted today.
What kind of plans? What's he doing?
No funeral, no service. Basically, we're all meeting over at the funeral parlor. He's already been put in a box. He did not want to be embalmed. We take him over to the Veterans Cemetery here. We're being escorted by the Patriot Guard riders, and then we'll have a 15-minute session there, and then everybody's going out for drinks afterwards.
That's perfect.
That's what he wanted. No pictures.
That's perfect.
No pictures, no open casket, no embalming, no flowers. Because as he said, what the fuck am I going to do with flowers? I'm fucking gone.
Plus, I never liked them anyway. You got to water them and you got to trim them. Fuck that.
Yep. So yeah, that's what's happening. So.
All right. Well, Kev, I think it's time. I mean, you got to get going, and I got to try to find a profitable trade here. So
I hope you do.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up right now. Been great talking to you. Please do me a favor, since I'm just learning about it this morning. Send on my condolences to Trish. I feel awful. That's terrible. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, we didn't tell a whole lot of people, and it's not like I'm going to call you up and go, "Oh, hey, guess what happened?" I mean,
hey, hey, you having a good day? Well, guess what? My father-in-law's dead.
Well, when I got the news from Trish, she was bawling on the other end of the phone, and I mean, I was sad about my father-in-law, obviously, but I just felt helpless. I just called my mom and I was bawling. I'm like, I don't know what to do, because Trish is the hard one in the family. She's the one that props me up all the time, and here I am, the one having to prop her up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough situation, and let me tell you this, Kev, do not feel bad whatsoever for telling me, not telling me about it. We have this thing, you and I, where we just don't tell each other when somebody dies.
We don't. Yeah. Yeah, we don't.
All right, man, I got to run. Have a good one, brother.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.